A childhood memory that will never fade. It's the first time I saw an Anzac parade. My mum took me to town on that famous date. How excited I was. A boy of 8. I pushed and shoved to get a view, but couldn't see all that I wanted to. And then I noticed to my elation the perfect means for elevation. In 2 minutes flat I was in that tree. The whole parade opened up before me. I was stirred by the bands playing music loud, the soldiers marching erect and proud, and behind them the men who had endured and fought, ordinary-looking men of every sort. I waved my paper flag patriotically, the other hand gripping the branch of the tree. And as I looked upon those who had returned, patriotism welled in me, and I suddenly yearned to one day serve my country with pride, and down the terrace I too would stride. My gaze passed over one whose eyes met mine, our eyes locked and held for the briefest time. He gave me a wink and raised a hand in the air, but on his face seemed a look of despair. I didn't understand why he looked so sad. I couldn't comprehend. I was only a lad. I soon forgot that man and his sad expression. My attention returned to that glorious procession. "12 years later, Australia again was calling. We had to stop the dominoes falling. I answered that call without hesitation and was sent to Asia to serve my nation. Vietnam soon changed my childhood views. We weren't shown as heroes in the news. My homecoming wasn't as I thought it would be. Not as I imagined as the boy in the tree. I matured during my time in Vietnam, and when I returned I was a different man. No longer full of patriotic idealism. It had mutated into bitter cynicism. Anzac Day marches were not on my mind. I now marched to the beat of a different kind. I settled down, married, and had 2 sons. I watched with fear when they played with toy guns. Each year they watched the march on television, despite my words of cynical derision. Then my eldest, seduced by Anzac law, enlisted and was deployed to East Timor. And so I endured the fear of having a son at war, as my father had endured, and his before. Some years later, at an old mate's request, I marched down the terrace, medals on chest. I marched that day with mixed emotions, almost moved to tears by the crowd's ovations. When out of the corner of my eye I did see a boy of about 8, perched in a tree. Face flushed with excitement, he took it all in. I gave him a wave and managed to grin. And as I marched, I pondered his destiny. But oh, how I cried for the boy in the tree.